No, not at all. I mean, you deal with Scump, and then you have Crim6 follow him up, or vice versa. That is just a very deadly duo, and then a map like this where you're going to have Karma to deal with as well. So this team, we know the potential that they have. Probably should have been your Stage 1 playoff champions, but FaZe clutch on up. We'll see if they can bounce back here at Seattle.
Well, we have one team that did make a change, obviously, in OpTic, and then EnVy, who would undergo a big change. Is there, if you had to pick between Chino and Decimate, like who do you think there's more pressure on this particular series to perform if EnVy's going to pull this out?
I mean, I think if you talk about sort of the young guns like Decimate and Pharaoh, they're starting to get themselves on established teams, and this is sort of their shot. If they don't perform well, who else is going to take that next chance on them, right? So I feel like this is a very big series for Decimate. This is where he can make a name for himself.
Absolutely. He comes in here and torches OpTic, and not a name many people are gonna forget. Will become a household name very, very quickly on this EnVy lineup. But unfortunately for this EnVy lineup, they've yet to get a point on the board. This has been a flawless hold for OpTic Gaming. 5-0 start from Karma. You've got a combined 11 streak, make it 12 before Scump ends up dropping. This is a great start for OpTic Gaming. Not what you wanted for the boys in blue.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Hook had 3 kills, and that was the only kills for EnVy. You had a 47-1 lead. Classic finally able to warm on up. You know, gets a couple entry kills, but Karma and Scump follow that up. They have operations bunker control. They have the spawns that they want. There's just one player left, that is Hook. He's able to break on, and he's going to contest a little time, but he has to wait for his teammates. Nice shots right there from Crim.
So OpTic right back in control of the hard point, and this is one of those leads. I mean, we saw this happen with Splice against multiple teams in Rise and Luminosity at Birmingham. You get out to like a early 100-point advantage, and it becomes almost impossible to win, but EnVy there. That last one-on-one gunfight, make it 2 gunfight wins for Hook. They're able to bust through and at least slow the bleeding a little bit, but there's really only 20 seconds remaining, and OpTic gets set up for the next hard point.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're an EnVy fan, though, you love to see that from Hook, just to win those back-to-back gunfights. He's 7-5, having a solid performance here on Valkyrie. Again, when you're sort of in that situation where there's so much pressure on you that you know you can be a superstar, and there's not guys on your team really giving you a lot of confidence, I mean, you're like, well, the reason we suck, it's because of me now, right? Like you start to have those thoughts in your head, but you get a fresh roster, and well, maybe now we'll see, you know, Hook perform at his best.
Well, speaking of people performing their best, on the other side of this, Formal, I believe through their first 2 series, I saw he had like a 1.67 KD. So he's been on absolute tear. And to be honest, is this the most difficult pool? No. And especially up to this matchup, have they been tested? The answer is no. But still, pretty wild statistics, at least kickoff pool play here on Friday, day 1 of CWL Seattle. But now EnVy getting right back into this. They were down, what, 60-5, somewhere in that ballpark, and now they've climbed right back into this and actually have potential to take a lead here as they continue to hold on inside the storage bunker.
No, they definitely do, and that's a big thing, is they won that rotation towards storage bunker. Chino, the last guy left, does have some pressure to deal with. One-on-one versus Crim6, loses that, but OpTic, they head towards office, but Hook's here. He wins that initial gunfight. Can he get in? No, Formal's there for a trade. A great job by OpTic Gaming to get office control.
But a good job by EnVy just to get right back in the swing of things, right? You were at risk of being blown out and buried early in this game, but due to the nature of this particular hard point, you can really rack up a lot of time on just about every hard point. So EnVy do a solid job there, getting right back in the swing of things. But if OpTic locks down office, you're right back in the position you started. But here we go, EnVy's kind of able to flood through the middle. They get 2 players inside of the hard point. Decimate will get cut down. Next guy up is going to be Classic, and that's when you've got to trade. Thankfully, you still had Hook with a close spawn in a position to make the play, and Hook goes big there after a trade doesn't happen for EnVy.
Yeah, he is just winning so many back-to-back gunfights. He's 13-10, has 40 seconds in the hill. A great game for Hook, but yeah, you would love to see if Classic just to win that one, right? Have those trades, start to get him fired up. You can see on that scoreboard, Decimate 5-11, not the best start. But once again, you're basically going to have a tied game as we go over to Smokestack. So if one of those 2 players can really step up for EnVyUs, they can be right back in this one, maybe take the lead.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you feel very good with how close this is. You have to, considering how slow the start was. But now let's see if Decimate or Classic can start to turn it up a bit. It's Decimate roaming mid-map, starting to hit towards Smokestacks. It's Classic that's going to be able to open things up onto the kill versus Karma. Decimate next man up. We'll get one before dropping, and the reinforcement's still going to be here for EnVy. It's going to be a Hook who almost, once again, is able to hit those quick snaps and find 2, but Formal able to shut him down.
Yeah, but even just to put damage, and you saw that the nades come through, they take Formal out. That allows EnVy to push up. You're going to get Chino here in a great position with this bar. Scump has to back down. Now, hill control over to Team EnVyUs. Decimate goes down to Karma. But with 25 seconds left, a solid hill for Team EnVy. They have a 20-point lead now. And again, Chino on a 4 spree, starting to work some streaks, but Formal's able to take him down.
EnVy getting blown out early. But OpTic now trying to bounce back. A three-piece from Formal there might be the catalyst they need to, well, at least get the scrap time here and get set up for our second set of rotations. After it's all said and done, it's going to be just over a 10-point advantage, a 14-point lead. I get 15 as we cycle into our second set, but inside of ventilation, it's going to be Karma here with the opening gunfights. His teammate's going to get dropped next to him, so the contest is going to come in quickly. Finds one, but quickly traded out, and EnVy will be back in, but Crim able to trade right back and forth, so OpTic would set up in ventilation for a bit here, Joe.
Yeah, definitely so. Just back and forth battles going on right now, but Scum finally able to find that. You see that kill feed. 3 go down for Team EnVyUs. And if you're OpTic Gaming, you're happy with this side of the map. The next hill up is that operations bunker. You want to be able to control that. Where number 7 just spawned. That's Crim 6. Formal, again, 24 and 16. You talked about it, how great of a day he's having here in Seattle.
I think he's just getting right back into that comfort level of being the top AR in the game. He was a little bit kind of hit or miss through playoffs. Like, he had some big maps, but struggled at times. I think he's starting to assert his dominance again.
Is there a way, can we go back over to Scump's point of view? I just wanted to check something out. Yeah, he has 4 attachments on, so he's rocking, I believe that means infantry, because he has advanced rifling. He has 54 bullets in the clip, so he has 4 attachments on that PPSH.
Interesting. Yeah, a little bit of a Codcaster bug where we couldn't actually see it, but it has to be infantry, right? If he's going to be able to stack that there. So certainly very interesting setup. And yeah, I think we have a new meta here. I don't think everyone's experimented with really everything you can do. There's only been, what, a week and a half really for practice to go down. So I don't know, maybe we'll see if that'll be something new that players will start to pull out. But as it stands, scoreline, minimal advantage right now for OpTic Gaming. It's control of the hard point currently for EnVy as they're trying to hold on. OpTic doing what they can to contest, but EnVy able to bully their way out the front as you get a kill from just about everyone on the side of the boys in blue. Yeah, and EnVy were able to do this on the first set, or on the first rotation as well. They did a great job contesting operations bunker. Chino able to find 2. He's on another 3 spree, having a solid game from him. Hook slowed down a little bit, but as you said, still a very back and forth game. You see EnVy is starting to set up towards this storage bunker. Decimate with a big opening gunfight win there on the Crim 6. They have a solid setup. But you see what OpTic's trying to do. They're trying to pinch both sides of the map. You have Formal on this side, and you look at that mini-map, you have Karma towards that office side. So where will that pinch start? It looks like it's going to be on Karma and Crim 6. Scump able to find 2. Now he's just staying alive. That allows Karma to push up, but great job by Hook to pick that up. Scump now into the hard point here. He's working with Formal as they're trying to hold. 30 seconds remaining on this particular hard point. Lead change should soon be going to OpTic here if they're able to trade out the kills. Crim 6 last man up. He's able to find 2. He actually still has Formal here to help him out. Chino's trying to find an opening. He's going to get cut down as well. Lead change. OpTic Gaming back in front as we're going to get towards the end here of storage bunker, but this certainly looks like one that's going to be coming down to the wire, Joe.
Yeah, but Decimate's the only guy here towards this office. With 8 seconds left, EnVyUs did not do a good enough job rotating towards that next hill. That's a bit of a mistake. We'll see if they're able to break this one. This one has been very tough to do so far for both of these teams. This is where EnVy got right back into the game. Hook able to find 1. This will start that pressure, and you can see Karma does spawn out. So a couple of big kills going down, and EnVy able to win those gunfights will allow them to get that off his control.
And now they're in. You've got one watching mid-street. You see the angle there of that number 1. That's going to be Chino set up with the AR, just watching the cross. So, oh God, the timing there.
That
He's
sucks.
going to get picked. So that's going to be an opening now. Scump not only gets the timing there on the Chino, but it also wins a gunfight as he pushes in. So the perfect control you had for OpTic Gaming. What a little fraction of a second that was that lets OpTic Gaming break in here.
Yeah, definitely. So you see Formal, he's just watching that cross, able to find 2. Hook, though, with a couple of big kills. Can he find the 3rd? Not able to do so. Karma finds 2. He's having a big game at 26 and 20. This is a big, 15 seconds towards this scrap time. We're going to head over towards that smokestacks, but you can already see a couple of OpTic Gaming members over there. You have Crim here. You also have Scump in the storage bunker. So OpTic doing a solid job picking up this scrap time and rotating early.
You got both sides and both guys able to at least win their first one-on-ones, but eventually Crim's able to drop, so the pressure from the top able to come in here on smokestacks. Scump tries to get in, Hook gets the better of him. Formal tries to get in. Grenade comes in and drops him down. Some shots from Chino assisting there as well. So EnVy will get early control now as they're trailing by 23 points. Still a lot of time here on smokestacks. What are you pointing on the
the pinch, though. There's a pinch that's coming in from Scump. Scump just stayed alive in storage bunker. He spawned his team out towards operations. Great job by Hoot to find that last kill, though. I was going to say, could have been a very scary situation for EnVyUs, but they're able to pick up on it as that one player did spawn out towards office, so he knew something was up.
key gunfights going down the stretch here inside of Smokestacks, but you see the kill feed. It is blue. EnVy's going to get control, and now their opportunity for yet another lead change in this game. Not quite yet. 213 to 213. OpTic actually gets back in, so it won't be a lead change as they're going to get the final time here on Smokestacks as we're going to head into another set of rotations, and Decimate able to wrap in for the backsides, at least able to clear out the hard point for a moment. As he snaps back, he's gonna beam Scump as well. And now EnVy with early control, and we know when games go down the stretch, we had that Echo Fox Rise game, the 250, 249 that ended in ventilation. Looks like we might have a similar outcome here, Joe.
Yeah, a couple of kills being traded, but EnVy, they're winning those trades. I mean, even if you look at that scoreboard, you talk about the old EnVyUs roster. If one of these players was -11, you have -3. If they were getting outslayed, they were losing. The game was not this close. So
100%.
You can already see the difference that this roster makes, but OpTic Gaming, they break on in, they can still win on this hill. How will EnVyUs respond? Hook able to find Crim 6, Scump goes down as well, and EnVy able to break on in. They just need 8 more seconds to put map number 1 away.
This could be it. EnVy can get the victory here. OpTic Gaming's got again. They only need a couple more ticks. No one able to touch. The last kill comes in, and EnVy take the first map. What a massive win for them in the scheme of things. In this new roster, they're looking good.
Snatched that one away from OpTic. It was looking so good for OpTic for most of that match. And before you know it, clutched that one up in the end. EnVyUs taking map number 1. Mother, what the hell have we just seen?
You know, in that game there, Decimate really controlled the game for EnVy. When he was playing well, they were able to close those gaps. When he was struggling, they were falling behind there.
Well, there's a lot of EnVy fans in the house, but I don't think there's any bigger EnVy fan than Jack from Jack in the Box right there, who is certainly powered up with tacos. I think.
Hey, at least we know, Jack retired from commentating, and we found a new role for him.
There we go.
He's now in the stands. Good job, Courage.
I'd like to power up with tacos.
I also would very much like to power up with tacos.
Can we power up with tacos after this?
I could shovel
loud
10 tacos in my mouth right now, if I'm going to be honest with you.
That's impressive.
This is a very loud hint that is not as subtle as the three of us are making out to be. We would love to power up with tacos right now. Fellas, we're going to S&D next. Where do we go from here? How does this EnVy roster stack up against OpTic's Search and Destroy, which has been good this event so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty
fine.
solid.
Still
and I mean,
thinking about tacos.
If you look at Stage 1 playoffs, OpTic a couple of times, they went down 0-1 in the series. They were able to bounce back in maps number 2, so not a situation that OpTic fans aren't used to, but I think that's a great game 1 out of EnVy. And it felt like control for the most part was OpTic Gaming's way, but EnVy just continued to hold on. They didn't allow that lead to grow too large, and then they capitalized at hills like Storage Bunker and Office.
So we have said at times, and I think I've heard this from Scump's mouth, that they are the best respawn team in the game. Like I've heard him say that. Knowing that they feel that way and how good we've seen, obviously, OpTic be in respawn, how much stock do you put in that win for EnVy? Like, I know it's one hard point, but the fact they were outslayed at times and still able to get that victory, like, how big is that, you think, for EnVy?
I think that's super important. That just shows the team chemistry and the composure that this team has. Again, a couple of weeks ago, as I said, if an EnVy player was getting outslayed that hard, that EnVy team was getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So just a completely new EnVy that we're seeing already.
I think most importantly for them, that's a confidence booster, right? Yeah. They're feeling good now. They have that first win under their belt. If they can take this search now, it's going to be a massive win for them right there.
So speaking of confidence boosters, though, we need to jump into Charlie right now because Splice are about to go down to Evil Geniuses in, I believe it's map number 2. EG have been running this matchup so far, and now it's all on the Jerd to keep him in this. EG absolutely crushed them in the hard point. Oh. And now they've just taken it to them in
So
the
can we
search.
talk about all of the team changes in some way? All right, so what, you have Complexity gets a win over LG. You see, obviously, EG getting some wins. EnVy not taking a map off of OpTic. We saw Echo Fox has beaten Rise and FaZe. Like, has every team that's undergone like a big change had like a big win? I know
Yeah.
United dropped to LG in the game 5, but for the most part, like all of these team changes have looked like pretty solid so far, right?
Yeah,
like, is there anyone I'm missing that
it's
like
still a good showing from United? They probably should have won 3-0 if RCS plays that 1v2 just a little bit differently. They win 3-0.
So like Reds looked shaky, Splices look shaky, LGs look shaky, FaZe, all the teams that stuck together are the question marks. All the teams that changed have looked good. I know it's Friday, I know it's pool play.
It's pool play.
But still,
you don't want to be
what
like,
the hell?
I don't want to quite like make the t-shirts team that stick together suck together. Like, I don't want to make that t-shirt yet, But now that it's in the barrel, I may consider it the one. I want to go back to the search and destroy real quick first, because again, we talked about OpTic's, you know, their kind of proficiency they've found so far, but do you actually believe that the search and destroy could go the way of Envy right now? And then when it comes to the flag, I mean, anything's up for grabs at that point.
I absolutely believe Envy can take this right now. Decimate is one of the best search and destroy players in the game. Chino said he was teaching them a lot within the game. And Chino is usually the mastermind. He's the coach in Respawn. So to hear him give Decimate that praise, I think they're going to be a strong squad.
I think anyone can beat OpTic in search. I mean, that's been their kind of weakness this year. Like, have they improved at times? Absolutely. But do I think that OpTic are some all-powerful search and destroy team? Hell no. I don't feel that way at all. So I definitely think there's potential here to go up 2-0.
Well, I've got a couple of questions about OpTic's search and destroy proficiency and how Envy can come up trumps here. And I've asked you, beautiful boys, but why don't we let this game get underway and speak for itself? On your screen, Envy, the new roster, going up against the Giants. OpTic Gaming now up by 1. If you're a boy and blue fan, things are looking good. Merc, Maven, take us into it.
Thank you, sir. And you'll see there at the bottom of the screen the improvements for Karma. You know, he is a guy that typically when OpTic struggles, he takes a blunt of the blame. It's just, most of it goes his way, right? Now he comes in, you see the increases out with him in the flex position. That was probably the best performance we've seen him have really this year. So can he continue playing like that is the question.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, that deals with the role change, right? I mean, we've talked about it from time and time again, him running, you know, using that AR a little bit more. But I have a couple of key stats from Stage 1 playoffs. I mean, Scump had a .73 during their Search and Destroy campaign at Stage 1 playoffs. On the other side, Classic, Envy, they were 0-3. Classic had a .29.
The big thing I heard from OpTic Gaming at some previous events is like their hardpoint comms was like carrying over into their search. It was too frantic. The comms were too crazy. People didn't know what to do, what to hit, what was safe. We'll see if maybe they can fix that. But right now, they are down a man. So Karma and Crimsix going to have to try and clutch here. Crim tagged up. He should be traded, or should be found there relatively quickly, and Decimate is able to pick it up. So Karma now, 1 versus 3. 50 seconds on the clock here in round 1.
I'm a bit surprised too. We've been seeing a lot more bar at this event as well, right? I mean, I feel like maybe it's with that additional attachment, if teams can, you know, add that long barrel to it, makes it so dangerous from all different ranges. But definitely seen it a lot more here at this event than the previous ones.
That's certainly true. We've seen it a good bit. I wouldn't say it's quite 50-50, but definitely way more than past events. Absolutely. So yeah, I'd like to hear from the players, maybe the reasoning behind it, but I think you probably nailed it there talking about the attachments. But as it stands here in this game, Envy able to get on the board first with a convincing round.
Yeah, definitely so. Hook was able to open that up. He found the first 2 kills, and then they just worked that A-bomb set. A great job from Team EnVyUs. Not giving up any kills. You just have 1 on Scump, but as I said, Hook able to find 2, Decimate 1, Classic 1 as well. So a solid round from Team EnVyUs. And well, Chino, he's going to open that up with a sniper rifle. He takes it inside fire, able to find Crimsix. That's a great first blood. And you can see how much map control Envy has. They're pushing through that lower B side. They're giving up the A site, and they're going to play that retake.
Let's see. They can find yet another opening. Just peeking the door in the window. Nice shot there from Chino. Ooh, yikes.
He thought about it.
He gets in there. He might be able to pick Formal, but he is able to trade it out. Now 2v3 for OpTic Gaming as they're trying to maintain control of this A site. The Envy collapse now coming in. 30 seconds on the clock, and they're trying to find the opening. Karma's going to get spotted. They're going to throw a nade towards him. They know Formal's position as he already picked up the kill earlier. He has got spotted by Decimate as well. Hook finds the kill. They know where the last player is. It's all going to be on Formal now. He wins the first one. He's weak. Decimate with the trade. Him and Hook still up. The defuse coming in, and look at the young guys. Hook and Decimate both on what, 3 kill, a 2 streak.
And I just love that they still have a nade left in that situation, right? He throws a nade at the wall. He's able to weaken Karma, and that allows them to push up. He knows that player is still very weak. So a great job once again from Envy. But that round opens up with Chino being able to find 2 with that sniper rifle.
All right, well, another round here to Envy.
This is surprising. You talked about how, I mean, we talked about it before this series started, how one-sided this matchup was, but maybe this Envy roster change is what they needed.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it just be, I mean, this is the one roster that I think a lot of us are just like, it's kind of interesting if they come out and
I think
they're a dominant
was a great
team.
pickup. I think everybody can agree with that, but the big question mark was Decimate, right? I mean, there was a lot of veterans still up for grabs, guys like Enable, guys like Nameless, who you thought maybe would have landed there, but they go with the young talent.
And so far, it seems to be paying off. They have a chance to go 3-0 in the pool here and take control of it if they're able to beat OpTic Gaming, but still work to do, obviously. In the back, I thought he was going to stick him for a second, but Scump able to get the trade and get away with his life. Classic, though, ready and waiting. Suddenly, it's Scump in a 1v3, 25 seconds on the clock. He's been tagged, has to back down. the finish comes through, and Envy is smoking OpTic right now.
Is OpTic playing?
They've been really hit or miss in Surge. They've looked actually just awful at times. So it's hard to be shocked when you bring in players that we know how confident they are in Search and Destroy.
I mean, yeah, and again, you have Chino, who won 2 championships in this game. This is a guy who has so much information, so much knowledge to spread to these other guys who were struggling throughout the year. So that, again, I think he's the key part of this Team EnVyUs roster. He was able to find 2 once again. But yeah, look at that scoreboard. Combined Karma and Crimsix 0-6 right now. But OpTic, they're starting to push this B site, but Envy, they counter it correctly. They're able to pick up 2. Karma, the last player left over there. 1 player pushes through the middle, and that's going to be Formal left in a 1 versus 2, but the trades go Envy's way. A beautiful read out of Team EnVyUs.
So they proved they can win a hard point when not destroying the slaying battle, which is something Envy could not do. Their Search and Destroy with the previous roster was entirely hit or miss. You think about an event where they get top 4 in Atlanta, where they basically win every search Friday and Saturday, then can't win a single search on Sunday. They were all over the place, poor decision making, people getting dropped in positions that they shouldn't, and now suddenly they're looking like a force to be reckoned with. I know it's one series, and you can't put a ton of stock in some of the things we've been talking about. You know, the Complexity win over LG, the Echo Fox win over Ryzen FaZe. Like, can't put a ton in it yet, but my God, they're looking good. And when Chino's hitting shots like that, things just seem to be panning out right now for this Envy roster, buddy.
No, definitely so, and maybe it's just OpTic. They thought they were going to run over this Team EnVyUs roster, right? Just so much confidence. Really, where OpTic has struggled has just been on Championship Sunday. Nice shots right there out of Classic, able to find Crim. But for the most part, OpTic has cruised through Friday and Saturday. It's just been Sunday that's given them the problems.
Karma's dead. 5-0 edge. We've been in this game, too, for approximately 3 minutes. And it's about to be over. This is one of the fastest search games I've ever seen. Like, none of these rounds have been close. We haven't had like a 1v1, like not like a long, like clutch type moment.
You and I have just been talking and rounds have been ended.
I don't know what's going on. Well, I guess this little series we done, so we got one more, we can head to the bar, Joe.
Well, Envy is powered by tacos, so maybe
Or
that's it.
I don't know why I said bar. Are there tacos at the bar? Because I need tacos now.
Taco bar.
Thanks, Jack. All right, 5-0. One more round needed for Envy. They show no signs of slowing down. Chino almost with another first pick. He's at risk of getting pushed, just tries to back him up. The stun not going to do a whole lot as they have armored on. The grenade not going to connect either. Chino isolated right now in trouble. He's going to need help. Karma comes soaring out. The trade is there, though. There's enough time that the trade does come through. And now it's going to be Scump at a 1v2. This may be a hot 6-0 in game 2 unless Scump can clutch. There's the first kill.
Yep, Decimate though, he knows where he is. The one good thing for Scump is he has a lot of time to work with, also has the bomb, doesn't need to back you up anywhere. Decimate though in a great position. He's gonna be able to see if he leaves this A site. There we go. Now he's gonna spot him. What is Scump gonna do in this position? It looks like he's gonna go for this bomb plant. Decimate, you can see he has that bar, has that assault rifle. He's just gonna wait. He's just gonna wait for Scump. Scump gonna back you on down, get into a solid position. But Decimate just playing this so patiently.
Not the guy you want to be going up against if you're Scump.
He's like, will this guy move, please?
Starting to inch forward. Scump looking to reposition. Now Decimate has to make a play. There's over 20 seconds. Just over 20 seconds on the clock. Trying to find him. He should have the kill. There's the kill. Scump able to clutch up and get around on the board for OpTic. So we saw what, it was United that came, they were down 0-5, they pushed it to around 11. They won 5 in a row. OpTic has to do the same and see if they can actually pull out the round 11 if they're going to tie up this series at 1 apiece, but not looking good.
No, it's definitely not. Envy have had such great control. Again, Hook was able to find 2 in that lower bomb site, but Scump able to clutch up that 1 versus 2. We'll see if OpTic can stay alive. They're going to be on the defense.
Is there anything specific that you see Envy doing right, or is it more what OpTic's doing wrong right now?
I just think everything that Envy's doing is correct right now. They just seem to be playing the calls perfectly. They're trading effectively. Chino opening up the map with that sniper rifle. Everything going their way. And then, again, you've had a very slow match for Crimsix. He had a terrible hard point. He's 1-6 in the Search and Destroy.
Absolutely struggling right now, but for one of the first times in this game 2, you have a man advantage for OpTic Gaming. Now it's going to be on Classic to try and clutch. That might finish him. That's going to finish Karma. It's not going to be a one-on-one. Back-to-back one-on-ones. Last time, Scump and Decimate. This time, Classic and Formal.
And this would be a 1 versus 3 as well. Classy was able to find that one in the middle, able to trade that kill, and then Karma just jumps onto his nade. He's read this perfectly. Can he win the gunfight? Not able to. Formal with a huge 1v1 win there. Keeps OpTic Gaming alive.
I think that was like the awkwardness of like awkward timing. Like, yes, he read it well, but I think he, in his head, he was thinking look back towards mid maybe or something. Because I don't even think he got like a bullet out there before he was lined up. I think it's one of those ones where he was thinking about maybe transitioning and just got caught with a little bit of awkward timing, and Formal was able to take advantage of it. Like, he just reacted to that too slowly. Like, it was kind of strange.
Like, man, I read that perfectly. Oh crap, I read that perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, OpTic, remember, round by round, they are all too familiar with these types of situations, as FaZe had the 1-5 comeback in the grand final at Stage 1 playoffs.
But that was the other side of it. They had 5 rounds.
That's true. But they know it's possible.
They do. Well, Hook able to trade one. Chino able to find one, but that gets traded. Formal, now another 1v1 situation. Karma versus Decimate.
Decimate 7-3.
Well, did you see his helmet? He might have been. Well, that's
nice shots. There it is. Envy up 2-0. Yeah, I mean, if you're OpTic, you've strung together a couple of rounds, but that was still a very quick game, too. And there was no question. Basically, like a minute into that game, there was no question Envy was winning it.
You and I talked about this, how we've casted OpTic Envy a lot, right? They've been in pools like 4 out of the last 5 events, whatever it is. These guys have met up a good amount throughout the year. And you know, we're just saying, every single time, it's been pretty boring. There hasn't been a lot of exciting matches.
Yeah, lots
and,
of 3-0s,
the trend's continuing. It's just the other way.
Yeah, right? Completely flipped on its head. But as it stands, Envy up 2-0 over OpTic Gaming. Both these guys fighting to get the #1 spot in their pool. But I'll tell you what, before we get to the CTF, guys, it's going to be a quick break that likely lasts longer than that map, too.
Lock up your daughters. EnVy are up 2-0 in the series against OpTic Gaming. Oh, sweet child of mine, have we seen a series so far. We were pegging OpTic from start to finish, and man, have we been disappointed so far in the journey. I mean, Mud Dog, what are EnVy doing so right in this series?
Miles, in that search and destroy, they were doing everything right. They were controlling the pace of the game. They just looked confident. You got Chino rushing middle map with an energetic sniper, taking control of everything there. It was flawless. They made OpTic look like a pub team in that search.
If we had managed to get the 6-0, it would have been pretty sweet. But look, you don't get everything, because in the real world, fairy tales don't exist, do they, Clint?
I'm a 33-year-old bald commentator of Call of Duty. I think fairy tales exist, Miles.
You're living proof. That's not wrong.
Yeah.
That's actually, I have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm having fun.
That was good.
Living the dream.
That was a fantastic series to go. And now we're going to the CTF. And okay, Joe, if you're OpTic right now, where's your head at?
We need to shoot back, hopefully warm up pretty quick, because London Dock CTF, yes, this could be a big swing map for OpTic Gaming, or they could get put away. I saw EnVy play this earlier. They're a very solid team on this one, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Well, here we go. Final chance for OpTic to redeem themselves here in pool play against EnVyUs. Is it going to be a trilogy, or we push this one all the way? Take it away, boys.
Thank you, sir. You'll take a look at the bottom of the screen. Formal is yet to go negative in a respawn against Team EnVy. I think that shows the dominance this team, and maybe him specifically, has had against this particular organization, but it's a different team now, and maybe this is where he has a slow game. He gets tagged up, though, and able to back down. Gets the assist. Is 2-0 down, make it 3 down, make it 4 down for EnVy. Great opening break there from OpTic Gaming here on London Dock CTF.
Yeah, definitely so. We can know this one can get out of hand very fast. You're able to get across that map so quickly. And well, teams, well, I was going to say, they could get a nice spawn trap just like this. Decimate, though, able to find Scump. You still have a 2v2 on the other side. It's just one man left. Formal versus Hook, and well, Formal's able to win that one as well. So a great job so far for OpTic Gaming. But as you said, look at the overextension from EnVyUs. He does need help, and he gets it from Karma.
Well, Formal actually finishes that, so the help comes in. He's able to snap and get the pistol kill, and just like that, full streaks for Formal, a 4-0 start, a 2-0 lead in the opening 60 seconds. What more could he ask for from OpTic Gaming after not the best start to this particular best of 5?
Yeah, definitely so, and you can already see Formal has full streaks. EnVy, they're gonna know that, but the pressure's now on OpTic Gaming. The flood comes in, all 4 members go down for OpTic. Krim, he's going to overextend through that underground, but I mean, this flag is out. I don't even know if they should invest in this.
I don't think so either. I think that's one of those spots where you get 4 down so quickly, just let that go in.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
You could have used that offensively.
Anytime you get 4 down and get a touch almost at the instant that last player dies, like, you're going to get that across half of the halfway point. Like, I agree.
Now, how much would you love to have it right now? You have Scump in a position. You could have used it, spawn, killed 3, and maybe the counter cap would be on. But EnVy now, they're in a solid defensive hold. But the pressure will be on them as they're all stuck behind this box. Nades coming in from OpTic. They're doing a solid job. Yes, wall bangs on both sides. Nice shot right there out of Hook. What did Decimate do? Nothing.
It's not even the bullets getting it done. It was the grenades that found the entry, and then Scump again getting into that box there by Crane, able to apply pressure, and that's a nice score. I mean, that's a great counter. You let EnVy get on the board, but you immediately silence them by getting a score in the next, 20, 30 seconds. So nice job from OpTic. Finally, you're seeing some life from them, and I mean, you can't count them out. Obviously, EnVy has looked a better team over the first 2 maps, but OpTic, more often than not, can be considered one of the best teams in the entire game. You got to think they're going to fire back here, and they've got the 4th cap out, and that's looking good.
Yeah, and I think if you look at Stage 1 playoffs, for example, this was their best game mode. Like, do you remember the grand final? You know, both of those CTFs, they ran over phase. So
it was like an 8-1 or 6-1, something like that.
It was that on London Docks.
Yeah.
It was the same thing on Flak Tower. So this is definitely OpTic's best game mode. It's their most consistent one for sure. But you could just see why. Already 4 flags on the scoreboard for them. EnVy, they have to bounce back quickly. They're starting to put some pressure on their base. There's 1 player left. That's Hook. If he wins this gunfight, he may be able to get a flagpole. But on the other side, Crim6 has the flag out for EnVy.
And Formal's just going to go ahead and streak it. You got to make sure you don't combine here. Don't let him get multiple kills with it. So he just gets the first cover man, but there's a 2nd player there to help it. So this will be a first standoff. And you know, obviously a standoff at this point kind of helps OpTic because you have a 3-cap lead, but if I'm Envy, hell, I'll take it for a second.
Yeah, just slow down.
Exactly.
Slow the game down.
Slow down the scoring from OpTic. Maybe you can chat things over a little bit here and just try to get to half without any more scores on the board for OpTic Gaming.
Well, we always talk about with stalemates like this is, yes, it does waste time, but say Envy is able to get into the OpTic Gaming base, they get 4 dead, they get the return, then they immediately can go on that relay.
And there's a big difference between the first half that's happening in the second half, right? Like,
yeah.
There's still a whole other half to play. So, yes, if 2 minutes get burned off here and Envy isn't able to get a score through, honestly, I think with the way this game was going, you're kind of okay with that. Like, OpTic was just completely running away with it. Now, just like you said, slow it down. See if maybe you can come out on top. Classic's got a chance to make a play. Classic right in the middle, right in the middle. Can't get to the return, though. Now, Decimate has to go ahead and hit, but he's been spotted and tagged up, so he's going to back down for a moment. He's relatively close to streaks as well because he's on a 4 streak, so just biding his time. Unfortunately, though, Formal's hot streak continues. He's got 2 caps, 2 kills in a row, and 11-3 start.
I just love that play from Classic. He's just like, I'm going for it, you know, and I'm going to try to find a timing. This is going to be so hard to break that setup.
He has another second, and he gets it.
Yeah, exactly that. But as you said, Formal having a great game, and we talked about Stage 1 playoffs and Birmingham, really still a lot of time for adjustments with that role switch, but he seems very comfortable now in that main AR spot.
Was there ever any question that he would be right up there in the combo with your slashers and octanes as soon as he started running it consistently again? No, nope. I don't think for anyone in the world. There's no one that doubted he'd be right back to that form. And so far, I know it's just pool play on Friday, but he has been very, very good. OpTic Gaming up until this series has been very, very good. They might be able to make a push here. I mean, who's that pushing to the bottom? That's going to be Crimsix. He has a chance to make a play. 10 seconds here. He has to find the kill and get the return. They're collapsing on that B street as well. The kills seem to be going to OpTic. The push is in. The flank is in. There's the flag in the back. Crimsix can get this. Crimsix can get it. There's going to be the kills. There's the return. There's the score. 5-1 at halftime. And for the first time this series, it's all OpTic.
I know it would have been very hard to do, but I would have loved it if they timed it perfectly to where they scored.
They rally it?
And they rally it with that extra time. Yeah, they got the flag, but that would have been really cool.
Yeah. I think but yeah, it's like,
that's what I was hoping
we're
for.
Up 4. We're up 4.
Yeah,
we'll take that. We'll take that, right? But no, that would have been neat. Okay, well, Envy with the power of Jack in the Box are trying to rebound now in the second half.
Yeah, and I think when I saw Envy play this, I think my first thought, you know, when they played London Docks CTF earlier today was, I mean, Chino, when he was on Team Caliber, they never played this map, so this is something new that's in the rotation for him. Not having the best of games, 8-11. But still, we talked about that. Like, teams are going to have to figure out their best map vetoes throughout the weekend. Nice shots right there from Formula. He's working on some more streaks as well.
Up to 13-3 now. If he hears it, gets the timing, he might be able to win it. And that's a... When he's winning those up close and personal, STG against PPSH, you know he's feeling himself. And now at 14-3, the streak up to 5, fully streaked out as well. He's got 3 of the 5 scores for his team. It's been a team effort, but he has certainly been annihilated the Envy side, at least in this one, and could be a big part if they're going to bring the comeback. You get a touch there finally for Envy, but Formal still in fire, obliterating any kind of reinforcements that are trying to get through.
Yeah, he's on a 7 spree, and well, just to point out.
Oh, God, okay. He's on one. Woo. He's officially on one, because Decimate just got sent to map 4. Holy hell. Decimate, you've been great throughout this series, but that, God, he just got snapped on.
Yeah, he definitely did. 17-4 from Formal. He also has 3 flag caps as well. He's doing it all right now for OpTic Gaming, as they do have a 5-1 lead. Karma, he's going to get this flag out, and well, Formal's already defending his base. Finds one on a hook.
Let's see what they can do here. If they can get it home. It's Karma making the play. That's a grenade basically on his toe. Nice nade out to maybe push back the pressure that's coming. It's going to be a 1-on-1. It's going to come down to 2 1-on-1s. One to the base with Scump, and then one here with Karma. Going against Classic, and he gets the position. Look at that play. Wraps all the way back through lights, able to get the angle. Score number 6.
Yeah, just waste time, right? Just the more time he spends. You saw the guys, as you pointed out, they were towards that OpTic Gaming base, but the spawns come in for OpTic. They're able to defend theirs, and well, they get that score, as you said. Karma has 3 flags as well for himself, so.
So what's it like when, okay, so let's say this particular series and the way it's developed, the story of this series, like it is Envy completely in control through 2 maps. They get relatively convincing win map 1, they dominate map 2. But then if you're OpTic and you come out and just destroy them like this, is it almost like reset the series in a way?
Yeah, a little bit. The reverse sweep's definitely on, right? I mean, we're going to go to a map number 4. I believe that's St. Marie. The good thing for Envy is that is their map pick, right? So you have to just sort of look towards that. get over this game as
Wait, what
quickly
map
as
was it?
possible.
Sorry?
I believe it's St. Marie.
Okay, so obviously it doesn't reset the series because EnVy's still up, right? But it's got to be just a convincing win like this in which you're in control. Yeah, it's got to be at least some good vibes, maybe a mental hurdle cleared for OpTic Gaming in this particular series. But EnVy, absolutely not out of it yet. And is it different when this type of scenario happens to EnVy and you're a new team? Like, is it going to be harder to deal with maybe a blow like this, or you think that it's still out?
Maybe not. I mean, maybe to a lot of these new teams, there's no pressure on them.
That's true.
They're not
That's true.
expected to win. For me personally, I thought a lot of the recent changes was going to create a bigger gap. I thought guys like OpTic, guys like Luminosity,
Hasn't looked that way at all.
Vice Nation, I thought they were going to have that tier 1 set team, but yeah, no, as you said, has not looked that way. Roster changes are definitely working out for a lot of these teams.
I know we don't really highlight the score for EnVy because it's been a blowout to this point, but if Chino's able to pull something crazy off here and the pinch coming in from Classic and mid-map, well, the pinch just actually evaporated. No, you still have it. You still have it.
There we go.
Still have it. This is a good chance. You just got to score on the board. You can bring this within 3. Now, I know there's not a lot of time to work with, but it's time to start getting behind this potential EnVy comeback. It's now going to be 6-3, but you still have a fighter pilot. This artillery shouldn't do anything. Just artillery, it's like either kills people or just really, really doesn't.
Yeah, but you still have streaks. I believe one more streak for Formal, so he can use that defensively if they need it. But yeah, OpTic Gaming, they regain min-map control. That should be it. You know, you did have Hook pushed up towards that staircase, but he was taking down Decimate now. Able to find one. And you can just see he's just trying to sprint forward and get into fire.
Yeah, this is where, you know, decision making doesn't come into play. It's just panic mode. Just try and get across the map and make. Does it matter at all if you're EnVy and you kind of make it a little bit more respectable, at least on the stretch? Like you get you get the last 2 scores, you show that you can sort of hang here. I mean, maybe OpTic takes their foot off the pedal a little bit up 6-1, but still, you get some scores on the board for EnVy.
Yeah, and I think if you're EnVy, if you look at the scoreboard, if Formal isn't plus 15, they're right in this game, but you had such a great map from Formal. It was tough to stop him.
It was. And you take a look at the other main AR, Chino, right around even, like -3. Not that he had a terrible game, but yes, it's going to be hard for the sub-players to get going on EnVy when Formal's dominating like that and being in power positions more often than not.
And again, how much has Chino played London Dock CTF? The old TK team, they avoided this map. They never played it, so the more reps Chino gets, he's going to be better and better on it. But again, that's what we talked about, the map vetoes. There's going to be a lot of things these teams have to figure out.
Oh, and what's nice, though, you gave yourself a 2-0 lead, a little bit of a cushion here early in the series. So dropping the CTF, not going to be the biggest of deals, but OpTic Gaming suddenly, what looked like it could be a quick 3-0 for EnVy. OpTic Gaming on the board, they're right back in the swing of things, Miles.
Is it going to be a speed bump in EnVy's success story, or is it going to be a reverse sweep now for OpTic? Muddog, where did OpTic come from there? Because that was a quick start for them.
I'm going to tell you, they won that game in the first 30 seconds. That start set them up for success. They had streaks. They rallied 2 flags right away. I think that was a little bit of a demoralizer for EnVy. And now OpTic has that momentum. I see them making this reverse sweep.
This is very much reverse sweep territory. I mean, Joe, you cost the whole match. Is there anything that EnVy could have really done to get out of that situation? Because once it starts to go against you and the streaks come into play, like, I mean, London Docks is painful to watch at times.
No, it definitely is. I think Eric hit it, right? As soon as you get set up in that spawn trap, especially 30 seconds in, 2 flags go on the board, you're kind of just like, crap, right? But it's sort of like, yeah, we can do the same thing to them, but the way Formal was shooting that map, it was just so hard to stop it and regain map control for Team EnVyUs.
Well, we've talked about how we've seen, obviously with the change of score streaks, we've seen less in general, less in CTF for sure. I think Formal got fully streaked out twice. And I don't know that I've seen that once on a different player so far with the change. So that's going to make it so difficult, especially on London Docks. But, I mean, the one good thing I think for EnVy, you mentioned earlier, like this is their pick coming up at Hardpoint. So if they're already able to take the Valkyrie, which is the map that you typically would favor OpTic Gaming on a lot, St. Marie, maybe you feel all right right now about EnVy.
I can't wait to see this Chino Formal battle on this map here. Those long-range AR battles, those are 2 of the best in the game, right? It is going to be the winner of that individual matchup is going to determine this map.
And I think what's really nice for Chino, I think Chino has a chance to like make that point now. Like I think that was kind of hard for him with accuracy, even though accuracy said it was the flex, the fact they were splitting it a little bit, a lot of times when people credited TK in the great AR, it was always accuracy that was talked about, right? It wasn't Chino as much. So now, he's that guy. Like, this is in a way, I don't want to say it's his team, but he's right there with Classic, kind of on who's going to be the leader. And now he can sort of set that. It's like, I am one of the best ARs in the game, and no one's going to be able to debate it. If this EnVy team sees success, that's just true.
I honestly feel like Chino always has been that guy. It's just, as you said, people gave Lamar credit, but he makes those dirty plays that sets his team up. He does what is best for the team, and he makes the right plays.
Did we give Chino MVP in New Orleans? Did we do that? No, am I remembering that terribly wrong?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
We did give him that, yeah.
Chino G got
well
MVP.
deserved that one.
No, like he wasn't. I don't want to say he's underrated exactly, but he almost is in a way,
No,
right?
he's very
Which is weird. The fact that he won MVP.
I'm going to tell you, he's a soft-spoken kid. He doesn't talk himself up a lot. He's
Wait,
not on Twitter
accuracy's the opposite
tweeting,
of that,
hey,
right?
I'm the
Like,
best.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I swear that's what happened. I'm telling you, Chino was he made that TK team go. And now we're seeing him make this NV team go a little bit.
Well, he's got to improve at least the matchup against Formal in this next map, though. Can't go like the CTF.
No, it won't go. I don't think it will go like the CTF. But I mean, Joe, based on the performance we saw out of him in the first hard point, it wasn't like they were running that one from start to finish. They had to go to they're to ascend to the next level of Saiyan. They're to delve deep into the chakra reserves to really make something work there. And can they do it again now off the bat in another hard point?
I think we're going to a game 5, Miles. I just think so. I just think that someone else from OpTic Gaming besides Formal is going to wake up, either Scump or Crim. The longer this series gets, the more possible that is. So I just feel like OpTic, you can see they're OP right now.
Well, here we go. OpTic Gaming, a chance to reverse sweep the series here, or for EnVy to make their mark here with a new, completely reformed team. Fellas, take us into this one. We cannot wait.
Well, I think that stat at the bottom there, Joe, supports what I mentioned earlier with OpTic Gaming being one of the best respawn teams. And I've heard that from their own mouths. That stat certainly backs it up. One of only 2 teams with a winning record on every single respawn. But ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 4, OpTic trying to pull off the reverse sweep. EnVy trying to close out this series. And against a team like OpTic, you got to close it out. You can't let this get to a game 5.
No, definitely so. So a solid start right there for EnVy. They're able to find 3. Hook peeks out, sees Formal in that top window, but you know, you can get a good chunk of time on this restaurant hill, just trying to find any kills you can, but great job from Scump just being able to stay alive.
Classic, just patrolling the stairwell. He's still a little bit weak. When he pushes out, he'll be traded. Decimate next up. He drops. It's a full clear there from OpTic. They're able to get the time, and they're also set up for the next hard point. So suddenly, this looking good for OpTic Gaming. I feel like almost any seconds you can get from this side of the map work out. Classic with a nice stick there. But Crim6 able to trade it out and also find another kill behind it. As OpTic now take the lead. They're still spawning safe for next.
Yeah, now we'll see how EnVy attack this winery hill. You can see OpTic Gaming, they're in control of the spawns. They're still spawning there. Chino with a nice shot right there on a Crim6. He does spawn him out. So if EnVy act fast, they will have a 4 versus 3, but OpTic are holding strong. And EnVy have to be careful because Crim, yeah, he's gonna flank right away. You can see him shooting on the minimap. Classic, not able to find that one. That's pretty solid hold so far for OpTic, but you can see the pressure's on as Hook goes all the way around.
That Crim spawn, one of those interesting ones. It's like it either turns into a 4v3 advantage for EnVy or they get flanked and everything falls apart.
Fast and they don't know.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a split now.
Oh, but who got spawns?
Yep, they're able to spawn safe in the back, so the flood now going to come in. The first one up is going to be Karma. He's able to pick up a kill, Scump there to reinforce it. They're still spawning ammo, but so far they haven't been able to get through this first wave of OpTic Gaming, so all the time's still going their way. And with that spawn, OpTic's going to be able to rotate out of this as well, so you can give up the final seconds here. Actually, they might be able to get this time. Get the time, at least contest it, and also get set up for next. So this works out really well for OpTic.
No, it definitely does. So that final 10 seconds is going to go the way of Team EnVy. It's going to make it about a 10-point game. But as you said, OpTic, they do have parking lot control. You already have Formal set up with that assault rifle. Crim6, Karma, they're pushed up middle of the map. They're just trying to make it so difficult for EnVy to cross that midway point and put no pressure on the hill.
No, that's part of the reason why. I mean, do you want teams to be spawning ammo so that they continue to flood there? Not exactly, but if it gives you the rotation and next, if it happens with like 20 seconds left, it can certainly work out. Now, OpTic going to be set up inside a parking lot as they're trying to deal with the opening pressure. Suddenly, it's just going to be Karma in the back and then Scump in the hard point. Karma's going to be the lone man. He's able to win that gunfight, so at least he keeps the spawns maintained here for OpTic so they can try to make a play back in, but EnVy at least able to get the break into the hard point.
Yeah, nice couple of kills coming in from Classic and Decimate, able to lock it down, and then Chino trades out Formal. So, EnVy, as you said, doing a solid job breaking from the front. We'll see how OpTic Gaming decides to play this. Are they going to push this scrap time? It looks like it's Scump able to find one. Nice shots on the hoop, but just weakens him. But the pinch is on from Crim6 up front as the rest of OpTic Gaming players and Team EnVyUs players start to head towards that radio tower.
And, you know, we typically talk about winery and parking lot kind of being your money points, right, in this game, where you're usually able to get the big chunk of times. But I think, you know, you talked about the fact that lookout posts may start to be more of that, considering the fact that it's not as easy to get that fighter pilot like you talked about earlier today. Not as many fighter pilots on the map. You're going to be able to set up, push out spawns, not have to worry about that aerial streak coming in. I'm curious to see how teams improve kind of holding this particular hard point, but Chino, man, he's beaming right now with this bar.
Yeah, and if you look at that scoreboard, Crim, he has arrived 16 and 12, already 28 engagements on this map. Formal only has 15, Karma only has 15, so Crim putting a ton of pressure on. But yeah, I mean, Envy, this is just like game one. They're just staying alive in this game. They're not letting that lead grow too much for OpTic.
Everyone, you know, kind of right around even for Envy. It's a solid team effort out of them. They're trying to break in. And it looks like they're able to do it. Nice kills coming in from Hook and Chino as they're able to combine
win this rotation,
take out 3. Yeah, and can they get in a restaurant? There's only really one player there. It's going to be Scump, I believe. That's set up, I think, in the stairwell right now. Yeah, he's set up in the stairwell, so he'll be the entry man for OpTic Gaming. He's able to get a kill and at least get away with his life here for a moment. Kind of wait for his teammates to come in. A second one goes his way. All of his teammates are dropping, but the influence there from Scump might be enough for OpTic to get in. Now, Envy, it looks like they're up to the task. They're able to hold here. Lead change to Envy.
Yeah, you can see Chino, he's on a 5 spree, starting to work towards streaks. His teammate and Hook, he's on a 4 spree as well. So kills starting to go their way. They do have the lead about 10 seconds. Another kill for Chino. One more, and he will be fully streaked out. That will be huge. As we said, as we go through those strong hills.
Wow.
There we go. Chino starting to heat up right here.
And we talked about it. Chino needed to get the better of, or at least go toe-to-toe with Formal. And right now he's doing just that. Formal, -5. He got +4 for Chino, plus the full streaks to work with. Hook starting to have a nice game as well, as he's got a glide bomb here that he can use as well. But once again, for Weiner at least, when we rotate out a restaurant, it's going to be OpTic set up, but they do have 1 spawn out. So Scump
have 2
spawn out. So this is a race. This is a race. Envy's got to go.
Yeah, Envy definitely need to go fast. This is a big gunfight. Hook able to win that one on Formal. Karma, the only guy over here right now for OpTic, just trying to waste time. As Envy, they are going to spawn up close, and you can see there's a couple of gunfights going down mid-map. That's Chino. He's able to win another one. This should go Envy's way as 3 go down for OpTic Gaming. It's just Formal left inside that shed. 4 dead for OpTic.
And they've got pressure kind of outside of white as well right now for Envy, so they're going to continue to spot him out. Now you get what you really want. You have 1 spawn all the way over a B-bomb. He's going to wrap and have to try and fight at ammo.
Artillery front.
Artillery in the front. Hook's going to dodge that, and Hook's got another glide bomb, and he's getting close to full streaks. Envy have taken over this game, Joe.
And this is what we talked about. You obviously, yes, you lose Slasher, you lose Temp. A ton of talent that's gone off the Envy roster. But this allows Hook to get into his zone, allows him to step up and become that superstar. 22-11, he's on full streaks, doing a great game.
Imagine coming in and taking 2 hardpoints off of what I think some would consider the best hardpoint team in the game.
Yeah. 2 glide bombs called in here, though, from Envy. They are able to get Formal in the back, and they flip those spawns. A great job from Team EnVyUs. That was a perfect executed push from them, and there we go. More streaks for Hook.
So you have what? An artillery and
Look
I believe
at
2 fighter pilots
13
available.
13 in a row from Envy.
They've blown the game open. They've blown the game open. It was OpTic in control early. The past couple minutes, though, all Envy. But despite the fact that streaks are invested, you have a chance for a break here right now. The artillery is only going to end up hindering Envy for a moment as they try to get over from that B-bomb site. OpTic's able to get through.
I was just going to say, that's a great job from OpTic to just break on in. There we go. Scump able to find 2. Crim6 is heating up. Well, he's 24-22. You really have to look at Formal and Karma on the second half of the game to step it up.
Crim6 doing everything. He just needs a little bit of help right now. Will the help come in? They're going to need, if they're going to take over in this particular game. Now, we mentioned the fact that this might be a little bit easier to hold because you won't have a lot of fighter pilots. Well, yeah, they have 2. Yeah, so even if OpTic's able to bust through, Envy should push the advantage out yet again here. This would be a big success from OpTic if they're able to split this. I think even split this or keep it close on this particular hard
look,
point.
You can see they switched over to Mountain as well. Great heads-up play out of OpTic. You have Crim6 running. You just saw Karma with it on, but they're not getting the kills that they need. Formal is able to find one middle of the map, but Hook's pushed out so far. Great job by Classic to find that kill, and all this early time going the way of Envy.
This has been a fantastic 20 seconds. OpTic hasn't even got close to breaking this, so not only is this perfect for Envy from the standpoint that you get all the points, but you don't even need to invest streaks here. I mean, even if OpTic were to break through in the next 10 to 15 seconds, I still don't invest it. Just go ahead and rotate and hold them for maybe a panic situation at Winery or a parking lot. This has been brilliant. A flawless hold right when OpTic was starting to get back into it. A big break at third. They get dominated here.
Yeah, and you can see Chino's just been hanging out in this hill. You know, you heard in that pregame analysis, they felt like Slasher, he wanted to push out a lot with that assault rifle. Chino's a guy. 1:40 hill time so far. Hook's in this next one as well. So they win this rotation over to Restaurant. You still have some streaks to work with. 2 fighter pilots on the side of Envy. But Hook 30-15, Chino 26-18. A great performance from the Team EnVyUs roster. And there we go. Hook able to find 3 as well.
And we wondered Is this Hook's coming out party? With Chino now coming on this roster, we know it wasn't working out that well with Slasher from a comm standpoint, from a reinforcement standpoint. Hook is now frying, 35 and 15. He's plus 20 on a 6 streak. Now the streak's coming in. He might get streaked out for a 3rd time. See you later, Krem. Karma has to back down. Envy is 10 points away from blowing out OpTic in Game 4.
And this is the Hook that people expected to see when he rejoined this EnVyUs roster. It just took a team change to bring him on out.
And there it is, a 3-1 victory for Envy. This series, this matchup now flipped on its head. How damn good does this new Envy roster look?
A little bit of polish, a little bit of a spit shine. It's amazing what you can do with the old gal. Wow, 3-1.
I don't even know what you just said.